Another day, another video. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today we're watching The Big Bang Theory. This is the 7th episode of the 8th season. I hope you guys have been enjoying it so far. If you like to watch today's full episode, it is available for free in the link in the description below. Just click on it, put a password in, and enjoy. So interesting, last episode we had Bernadette and Howard obviously bickering about finances, and you know, that stemmed kind of a situation where Penny now is getting a company car. She no longer needs the one that Leonard got her as a gift, so she can get around, go to job interviews, and get herself back on her feet. Now she is back on her feet. She's sold the car, you know, because she's getting a new one, and give Leonard his money back and said thank you. Leonard keeps persistent, passing it back, saying like, you know, I don't need it repaid. I never done it to get that. You should have it, spend it. There was back and forth all episode, and then obviously there's like, you know what, we'll speak to an actual couple and how they deal with situations and how their finances are. And to be honest, it just made them realise that they need to sort it out between themselves. Everybody's different, and obviously Bernadette was kind of gloating that she makes more money than Howard, which put him in an uncomfortable situation where he kind of felt insecure, and they started bickering back and forth. And you know, it's interesting, like I said, money and financing situations can be the root, you know what I mean? Like, money is one of the big ruiners, I would say, of relationships and friendships and stuff. Somebody could owe somebody, to like, borrow somebody 200 quid, $200, and like they don't pay it back, and that's a friendship ended because obviously you scruff, you've took it and you've not give it, you know what I'm saying? Like, so it is a big topic, and I'm glad that they're getting it out of the way now and resolving it. And you know, it is minor from them. Basically, you know, it's Penny just saying thanks, I don't need it anymore, and then Leonard was saying, look, I never really give it you, so you give it me back. But the wedding, as they agreed to put it in the pot for that, perfect way. And to be honest, talking about the wedding that I totally forgot was potentially going to be a thing has excited me again, because I cannot wait to see these two get married. Hopefully we have, like, Bernadette and Howard's wedding was decent. It was nice. They looked really, really good. And obviously I liked the location. It was on top of the building, wasn't it? And you had the Google Maps looking down. But we never really seen like a big, massive, over-the-top wedding party and all that. Maybe we get that with these guys, because we do know that Penny does love, you know, love a good party and a good club. So I'm excited for that one and all the things to come in between for it. I've totally forgot that he was getting married, and it just reminded me, and I can't wait for it. Thanks for checking out today's episode. Hope you guys enjoy it. If you do, please smash the like, really helps out. Subscribe if you're new, and as always, let's jump into today's episode.
I'm studying one-celled organisms to try and find the neurochemicals that lead to the feeling of shame.
What would a one-celled organism have to be embarrassed about?
Same as all of us, getting out of a car without underwear.
Anyway, I was asked to be a part of a magazine article about the 50 sexiest female scientists in California. Isn't that cool?
Bernadette is a successful microbiologist. She should be celebrated for her achievements, not her looks. I mean, what kind of message does that send?
Why can't someone be thought of as both smart and pretty?
If it helps you make a sale with a physician, I don't think it hurts to flirt a little. I mean, laugh at their joke, touch their arm, maybe crank up the AC in the car beforehand, you know, to wake up the girls.
It's different in the world of sales, but it's already hard enough for women to be taken seriously in science.
Now, I think you should do whatever you want. You know, maybe if fashion magazines had female scientists in them, I would have become a theoretical physicist.
I mean, she's not wrong in two different ways. It's interesting, you know what I mean? Like, I kind of get where where Bernadette's coming from. Like, mate, why should she not be, you know, celebrated for her work in the field? Now, regardless of whether it's celebrating her looks, you always see these stuff online. 30 sexy actors under 30 or whatever, you know what I mean? And it just mixes through them. Now, I understand that, realistically, that's got nothing to do with acting. Do you know what I mean? So, like, that's what Amy's trying to say. It's like, she should be celebrated because she's a great scientist, not because of her looks. You know, you could literally be a person that's the world's sexiest model, or you could be the world's ugliest model. Let's be honest, you know, both ends of the spectrum. But at the end of the day, if they're both exactly the same at science, contributing, why should the world's sexiest be celebrated more than the person that's the world's ugliest when they're both contributing? You know what I mean? So I understand her side of it as well. Like, it should be about your work, not your looks. But at the end of the day, if you're not going to be there, somebody else is going to. That's how I look at stuff as well. You know, if she says, no, I don't want to be in that, well, somebody else is going to be in there, and they might get more opportunities and reaping more rewards because I accepted that and you didn't, and you're still in the same position you was before you said no. So if it's there and someone's giving it you and someone's going to reward you for just being you, take it. You know what I mean? But I understand where Amy's trying to come from.
Delivery men are the unsung foot soldiers of our nation's commerce. Shake your hand, but, well, you know.
I'm not a delivery man, I'm a doctor, although I do often deliver alarming biopsy results to my patients.
That's humorous. Are you bringing flowers to a patient to cushion the blow of a terminal diagnosis? That wasn't a joke.
For a nice woman who makes sales calls to my office.
You know, they have delivery people that will do that for you.
I was hoping to impress her by tracking her down on the internet and then showing up unannounced at her door.
Ooh, Siam Palace?
Yes.
Meat Robin chicken satay?
Yes.
Extra peanut sauce?
No, but you can have mine.
There is a gentleman caller bringing flowers to your fiance as we speak.
Why didn't you say that first?
Oh, hi. Does Penny live here?
May I ask why?
Well, I met her at my office. She winked at me, and I came hoping to initiate a romantic relationship. And then she touched my arm for 2 Mississippis, like, you know, 1 Mississippi, 2
I got it. Penny is my fiance.
Am I to presume that her flirtation was just a sales technique? It's just like the cute girl at the pet store all over again. She touched my arm for 5 Mississippis, and I bought a $2,000 iguana habitat. You give these to Penny. You probably don't want her to see this. It's unnecessarily graphic.
This man is clearly upset. We should invite him in for a hot beverage.
He's good social skills though.
The score was Penny.
So
Yeah, but he didn't know she
they're
was
having dinner
together.
with us.
To be fair, Sheldon makes a good point. The guy's upset. He's always consistent about giving him a hot beverage. And to be honest, if he never knew that she was actually engaged, then what has he technically done wrong apart from being a bit creepy? Like, he doesn't look creepy, but like, finding somebody on the internet and tracking them down and going to give them the flowers is creepy. You know what I mean? Like, if I went online and found somebody who works in an office building and, like, located the house and turned up with flowers, that is strange. But, from his defense, let's just say, she didn't wear her ring. And I was like, that's pretty deep. But then thinking about it, it makes sense not to wear them. Because her whole sales technique might be to flirt with guys. Once they're all stimulus up or whatever, you know what I mean, and the bodies go in, they're like, I'll buy an iguana thing for $2,000 and I didn't need it. Do you know what I'm saying? And that's Penny's technique. And what is wrong with that? She's got no intentions of doing anything with them. What she's trying to do is get them all to fall for her, so they're like, yeah, sure, I'll buy it. I personally don't think there's not wrong with that. And the best way to do that is not show that she's unavailable, so everybody thinks, I've got a chance, I'll buy. Sounds like she's a great salesperson to me.
So, how was work today?
But you'll be happy to know they pulled the sexy scientist article.
No, I'm really sorry, but I think it's for the best.
I feel like she's done
Focusing
something.
on your achievements, not staring at your breasts in some magazine.
Hey, up here.
Sorry, we're talking about them. I sent the editors of the magazine a pretty scathing email.
Amy, what did you say?
I simply pointed out that they would never consider doing an article ranking male scientists on their sexuality, let alone showing them in various stages of undress. Agreed it was in bad taste, and now you agree, so Amy saves the day.
You took away a chance for me to get some publicity.
But it was bad publicity.
That's for me to decide, not you. I think you don't like people expressing their sexuality because no one wants you to express yours.
You have a nice night.
Please don't go. Up until my vicious attack, you were the one in the wrong.
Amy is in the wrong. I mean, Amy's in the wrong. Right. She was saying it's bad publicity. Is it though? Let's just take let's just take someone that we all know is good looking. You know what I mean? To make it like just so much easier for everybody to kind of go along with the story. So let's just take an actress. Let's just say Zendaya. Yeah? Everybody's all in agreement. She's a beautiful girl. If she was a scientist though, so let's just pretend she wasn't an actress and nobody knew her, but she was a scientist. She decided, do you know what? I'm going to go in the science magazine in a wet t-shirt and obviously, flaunt my bits. But at the side of it is a big massive paragraph about telling everybody how good science is, how to get in the industry. You're going to have more people, I think, looking at the field and engaging with the topic of science than the negative outcome of it. It draws eyes to the field, gets people interested, and it highlights the topic of science. And that's what I feel like is going on. So, for example, what's worse? Not having this article produced, or having the article produced with Bernadette in a wet bikini t-shirt on a car telling everybody how great science is. Because personally, I think that having that article with somebody saying how great science is, okay, the eyes may be drawn to Bernadette, but you've got information about science and how great it is and how you could be in the field and change the world out there compared to it never being out there. So, again, I can understand where Amy's coming from, but it's all about perception. Amy might not like it, but Bernadette might. So who's right and who's wrong? Do you know what I mean? Like, nobody is. It's all down to opinion.
Star Trek mug. I actually have one of the phasers from the original TV show.
Cool. How'd you get that?
Oh, easy. Gene Roddenberry needed a vasectomy.
Wow, you really went where no man has gone before.
I like to brag, but you see, I'm kind of the doctor to the star's urinary tracts. You want to see James Cameron's kidney stone?
Hey, that's mad. I'm weird.
He was so happy after he passed it, he gave me a Terminator. Ever since I was a kid, but I didn't really get serious until William Shatner's bladder infection.
What'd you get?
Well, he said it was a tribble. It could be a toupee, but either way, it's pretty cool. I mean, you're a guy like me. So how'd you get a girl like Penny?
Being myself, really.
Oh, please. You know, I'll tell you how he did it. Implacable, relentless badgering.
Dr. Lorvis, what are you doing here?
Well, actually, I came to see you.
Apparently, someone was being awfully flirty while not wearing their engagement ring, causing another someone to show up here thinking the first someone might be available.
Oh, this is very embarrassing. Dr. Lorvis, I am so sorry. I did not mean to lead you on.
So what other celebrity genitalia have you handled?
Off your ring when you go to work?
What? No. I just put it on the other hand and turn it around. I make more sales if these doctors think I'm single. I did the same kind of thing as a waitress. The real question is, what is he doing in your apartment?
He's basically harmless. He's actually kind of a nice guy.
Okay, whatever. Look, my company does not allow me to socialize with doctors outside of work. You gotta get rid of him.
Hey, we're going to Oliver's house to see his collection. You want to go with us?
Yeah, sure. You owe me.
To be fair, like, Penny's literally just said everything that I said. Like, it is kind of weird that he turned up, but he actually seems like an alright guy, and he was misled because she wasn't wearing a ring, but Penny's done nothing wrong about hiding it because she gets more sales when she don't wear it. Like, the whole situation is not as deep as it sounds.
Oh my God.
Leonard, I was wrong. Heaven does exist.
It's a replica.
Original.
Oh, I think I just cheated on my wife.
The gun from Hellboy.
Yep.
How did you get it?
Bought it at auction.
Oh, I was hoping for a juicy tidbit about Ron Perlman's testicle.
Wow, Donkey Kong. This was my game when I was a kid.
Because it's a story of a pretty blonde girl tirelessly pursued by a small, oddly shaped man. Don't get defensive. You're oddly shaped, but you got the girl.
So I've noticed Leonard gets teased a lot about his relationship with Penny.
Yes. If you'd like to join in, the premise is their love seems unlikely and doomed to failure. I'm still upset about that peanut sauce.
Not the fact that he thinks he's still got a chance.
Could you hold the door?
Nice flowers.
Thank you. They're for a girl. I'm being implacable and relentless. I think we both want the same thing.
What's that?
Unconditional love.
Guess that's all anybody wants. I hope you get it.
I was going to say, Amy's going to touch him.
Next game, let's switch helmets.
No, I'd look silly in that helmet.
I can't take these.
Well, why not? I mean, you want what I want.
But what about the other girl?
We should just be friends.
Look at Penny behind him.
You think he bites?
Stick your hand in there and find out.
You fooled me with that goat at the petting zoo. You will not fool me again.
Guys, we're locked in here.
So, you just left them alone playing games in your house?
Well, they seemed happy, and I thought that would give me time for you and I to get to know each other better.
You gotta see what you're doing is a little creepy.
You sound just like Sigourney Weaver when I followed her into a restroom.
Guess who's back? Dr. Lorvis. Yeah, you care to join us? What? You locked them in your basement?
Well, they're not locked in. The door just sticks.
Okay, so how do they unstick it?
They'd need the key.
Oh, good, you're here. Hey, Amy, I am so sorry.
That has to wait. This weirdo locked the guys up in his basement.
You can do this.
Watch. One night left.
Leonard, are you okay?
Better than okay. I am having the game of my life.
Okay, Leonard, let's go.
Just hang on.
Well, while we wait, would you like to see Toby Maguire's prostate sonogram?
It's interesting, that episode, to be honest. You know, this guy turning up is a bit creepy. It is a bit weird, but like, he actually seems well, it seems lonely, if I'm being totally honest. The fact that obviously any type of female contact he's trying to interpret it as an affection for him and somebody wanting to actually date him or something. So that's like kind of sad, but like in the whole general scheme of things, like he does seem kind of nice, you know. I mean, obviously you wouldn't want to date him, because imagine if he was dating him and then somebody else come, like you say, how quickly and easily he kind of changed. You know, he was going to Penny, but Amy touched him for like 3 seconds and now he's interested in her. So he's flip-flopping all over. But his basement is good and the guys obviously are loving it. You know, that is literally a dream for most people in it, having some sort of gaming centre in the basement or in your house in general. And especially if, you know, I never grew up in a generation where we kind of went to arcades and played games like that, you know, so it's never really been my kind of thing. But I can see people who grew up in the 80s, like, who went to the arcades and spent most of the time there and hanging around with their friends, how you could get nostalgic and want something like that and relive moments and make you feel good as well. That's the whole point, you know. If you're playing a game, you want to feel good, don't you? You're not going to just go on and play it to get mad and angry. You want to go there to pass time and you know, make the day better. And they're obviously loving it. But it's interesting, the whole concept of him and Penny, obviously, like, her doing a sales pitch and not wearing a ring, and Leonard kind of being a little bit upset by it. But at the end of the day, I understand why. It's like with the Bernadette and Amy situation we were talking about. I understand where Amy was coming from. I understand where Leonard is coming from. But she's trying to just progress and make sales for a company, and she's got no actual intention ever of getting with any of the guys, so it's not really something to deep into and get upset and be worried about. You know, it's helping her do a sales pitch, and it's making guys actually want to invest because they feel like they've got a chance, when she knows, and Leonard should know, that that's never actually going to happen. Do you know what I mean? So it seems like she's doing really good in the company so far. Gonna wrap up today's episode. Thanks so much for checking out the channel today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. So interesting stuff going on with the Bernadette thing. I don't know if we're going to return to it. I don't think it's like a story that we do massively have to go to, but it was a chance for her to, you know, be celebrated and be in magazines, and, you know, kind of like an achievement that that I would have liked to have. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, if somebody come to me and was like, mate, we're going to bash and stick you in the best looking YouTuber thing, I might think, well, I mean, I don't know how that's happened, but I wouldn't reject it, you know what I mean? Amy's obviously a whole thing about the situation is that it's not good luck for science, you know, going back to obviously the show. And I get where she's coming from, because she's basically saying that, you know, somebody should just be celebrated for their contribution to the industry, you know, regardless of whether they're the best looking person in the world or the ugliest person in the world. Like, whatever they contributed, that's what it should be. But I'm also, like, on the side of, if something's there already, you know, like, and somebody wants to offer you, like, a position or a reward or something, then you take it. You know, you've earned it, so to speak. You've been selected. You've done nothing wrong. Like, why should you not reap in those rewards? And, yeah, okay, you might think, again, on the flip side, that might be a bit derogatory towards the women because, you know, you're portraying scientists in a certain way. But you can counter that by saying as well, if that article was out there, more eyes would be on it. It might obviously bring more people into the industry because obviously they've seen the article where they wouldn't have seen it before. Do you know what I mean? And sometimes, you know, you just look at like TikTok and like YouTube videos. Like, people do social experiments, and basically it's like, have you ever heard of this before? No. What about if somebody done this, and this? Like, would you consider looking at it now? Yeah, maybe. You know what I mean? And that's the size of the situation. Like, people may never have thought about their pharmaceutical industry before, but if you put somebody good looking like Bernadette on a poster, people might say, oh, look at that, but that person's good looking. What's she do? And then there's a big story about science next to it. Brings attention to the field. Do you know what I mean? So I understand where Amy's coming from and understand what she's trying to say. But at the end of the day, if Bernadette, who was offered the position, is happy to contribute and happy to be in there, then, you know, Amy shouldn't actually do something to restrict and stop that. You know what I mean? So she did end up saying something that was a kind of upsetting towards her. But it all come from kind of like an unnecessary situation. So, I mean, I don't know if it is going to get celebrated and if she is going to get this achievement later down the line, or if that's just ended it in today's episode. But that was just my thoughts on it, and I'd be interested to know what you guys actually think as well. Thanks for checking out today's episode. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please smash the like, really helps out. Subscribe if you're new, and as always, I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers, guys.